Welcome back to Flashback Friendly, where we dive into the wildest, most controversial, and absolutely fascinating stories from the world of art and design. Today, we are talking about an artist who drags culture out into the open fields, into the red dust, into the lives of workers and tribal communities, and turned it all into radical modern art. This is the story of Ram Kinkar Bej, the rebel of Shanti Niketan, India's first truly modern sculptor, and the man who proved that momentum and mess could be more powerful than polish. Stay logged in because by the end of this episode, you will never look at public sculpture the same way again. In early 20th century Bengal, most serious art was still stuck in academic naturalism. And then there was this boy from Bankura playing with scrap of paper, red clay, turmeric, and whatever he can grab, teaching himself how to see and shape the world. That boy grows up to be Ram Kinkar Bej. By the time he is 19, his talent is noticed and he lands up at Kala Bhavan in Shantiniketan, Rabindranath Tagore's experimental art school. Here, under the mentorship of giants like Nandalal Bose and Abhindranath Tagore, Ram Kinkar doesn't just learn art, he explodes it. While others are doing careful wash paintings, he is out there making rough, massive forms, splashing color, and ignoring very neat line of good taste. Critics later say his work doesn't have a linear evolution. It jumps, severs, shifts, and that's exactly the point. He's not interested in playing it safe. At that time in India, sculpture is mostly academic, polished, realistic, obedient to Western norms. Ram Kinkar looks at all that and says, no. A visiting French sculptor gives him a basic intro to modeling, and that's all he needs. He grabs clay, starts working intuitively, and evolves a style that's basically self taught. He believes that it's a movement, that inner tension that brings a work of art alive. And then comes his big innovation, cement concrete casting. He mixes cement with laterite gravel, sand, pebbles, things pulled from the red soil of Shantiniketan, and uses this raw, stubborn material to create sculpture on a monument scale. This is how works like Sujata around 1935 and then Santhal family in 1938 are born. Then there's Call of the Mill, often called Mill Call. From the 1950s, workers responding to the whistle of the factory, bodies leaning forward, caught mid movement. It's about labor, rhythm, and the everyday. Even though everyone remembers him as a sculptor first, Ram Kinkar is also a phenomenal painter. And true to form, he doesn't follow the rule book there either. He's the first artist in Shantiniketan to use oil paint and push it toward modern and abstract work. His paintings are filled with rhythm, just like his sculptures. You see it in his transparent watercolors, in his nudes, in his rural senses. There's always movement, always this sense that the figure is about to shift, breathe, or step out of the frame. And of course, there's a controversy. His heads and busts are often abstracted, not polite likenesses, but attempts to capture prana, the life force. Faces are distorted, elongated, planes, broken up. For some viewers, this is thrilling. For others, especially politicians, it's scandalous. Complaints pop up about his portraits of figures like Rabindranath Tagore or Mahatma Gandhi not looking like them. But he doesn't really care. He's here to tell the truth of energy and presence. Let's jump to New Delhi. Outside the Reserve Bank of India, you have probably seen them. Even if you didn't know who made them, the monumental Yaksha and Yakshi standing guard. They are massive, stylish, symbolic figures representing prosperity, agriculture, and industry. This work brings him huge public recognition and are closely associated with the period in which he is honored with the Padma Bhushan in 1970. By this time, his impact is undeniable. He has transformed the way Indian sculpture looks, phase, and exist in space. He helped establish sculpture as a serious experimental medium at Shantiniketan, later heading the sculpture department at Kala Bhavan and inspiring students like Somnath Thor and other modern sculptors. His works now sit in prestigious public and private collections. National Gallery of Modern Art's permanent collection. He passes away in 1980 in Kolkata, but his sculpture remained part of the living environment, rising out of the red earth like termite mounds, eroding, aging, but refusing to disappear. So, why are we talking about Ram Kinkar Page on Flashback Friday? And why should you in 2026 care? Because this is a story about creative risk, about someone who was largely self taught, who used cheap materials, who was often misunderstood, and yet changed the entire direction of an art form. He turned everyday workers and tribal communities like monumental presence in art history. His work sits at this intense intersection of indigenous forms, Santhal sculpture, Kali Ghat, Cubism, Expressionism, and raw experimentation. This has been Flashback Friday by Art with Avi. If you love this deep dive into the wide world of modern Indian sculpture, hit like, drop your favorite Rankinkar work in the comments and tell us which artist or forgotten controversy you want us to unpack next. Until next week, stay curious, stay critical, and remember, art history isn't dead, it's just waiting for you to look again.